Right now at 4, here's a look at some of the top stories that we're following. With summer heat settling in, your air conditioner could be working overtime. But is it ready for that challenge? How to avoid costly repairs and the simple steps that could save you big on your energy bills. Heads up drivers, major traffic changes are coming to one of Evansville's busiest corridors. When US 41 lanes are set to reopen, which ramps will shut down, and how long detours could last. Plus, an Evansville man accused of an unthinkable crime, what police say happened to a young child and the suspect's disturbing criminal past.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 44 News at 4.
First on 44 News at 4, another beautiful day across the tri-state. And while it was a bit humid, as you can see, that sun was shining, which is perfect because as we overlook Henderson there, the WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival is kicking off today. And down near the Henderson Riverfront is where we will find Storm Team 44 meteorologist Jonathan Weaver, who's tracking the latest in your forecast. Jonathan, how's it feeling out there?
Oh, man, it feels really humid out here. That's what it feels like. Hardly a breeze. Warm temperatures, though, nice and dry, so we shouldn't have to complain about that. I remember last year I was down here, got this hat. I just saw somebody walking around with the same hat. It was a little cooler, but a little humidity out here. Temperatures in the 80s. Hazy sunshine again. As you said, we're at the WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival, so here on stage beginning at 5 o'clock, so slowly starting to fill up here. In downtown Henderson, Audubon Mill State Park. So again, we're right on the river here. We got the tent set up. We got food trucks. We got Java shakes. Looks like some barbecue. Always a half pot tent. The VIP area, big screen. If you can't get a close enough seat to the stage, you can see it from far away. You got the sound stage doing their warm up. So just the flag showing a nice breeze off the river, but where we're standing close to the stage, not much happening in terms of breeze. Temperatures right now in the lower to middle 80s across the region. That humidity is going to increase here over the next couple days, along with our storm chances, and we'll talk about that with temperatures in the 80s here through the evening hours. We'll talk about the storm chances, some thunderstorms, and more humidity, Ben, coming up in a couple minutes.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, the summer months are heating up, and so are the phone lines at local HVAC companies. Bracket Heating, Air, and Plumbing technicians say they're starting to see the spike in service calls as the demand rises. While many homeowners have already turned on their systems this season, issues like clogged filters, dead batteries, and dirty condenser coils are starting to show. Now, experts say skipping routine maintenance can lead to higher utility bills or worse, a total breakdown when you need that cool air the most.
As soon as we get in the 85s to 90 degrees, that's when everybody's air conditioner kind of starts breaking, or that's when they start noticing the problems.
To prevent those peak season failures, technicians recommend monthly filter changes, clearing debris like cottonwood from the outside unit, and scheduling a professional cleaning or tune-up. Bracket says catching small issues now can save homeowners thousands and keep their homes comfortable all summer long. New at 4, with summer in full swing, many of us are spending more time outdoors, whether that's at a beach, on a hike, or just simply enjoying a pleasant sunny afternoon. But along with the fun comes a rise in common skin problems triggered by heat, humidity, and sweat. From breakouts to rashes, summer can take a toll on your skin if you're not prepared.
It's very common to end up getting different types of rashes, different type of skin conditions that are related to heat and humidity.
Now, to protect your skin, wash your face regularly, shower after sweating, use sunscreen, and moisturize daily. And if you are outdoors, stay alert for poison ivy, oak, and sumac, which can cause a very itchy rash with even light contact. Also new this hour, from road openings to lane closings. Expect some more traffic changes coming soon along Highway 41 here in Evansville. Officials say it's all part of the Highway 41 repaving project. On June 17th, NDOT says the approach from Virginia Street that has been closed for construction will reopen, as well as the southbound lanes. Then crews will close both the US 41 southbound ramp to westbound Lloyd Expressway and the westbound ramp from the Lloyd onto southbound US 41 for reconstruction.
We just ask folks to be patient with us. We know everybody's been real patient, and we really appreciate Evansville drivers for working with us, whether it's this project or the Lloyd for You. So we understand. That's why we want to make sure folks know that this is coming. This is going to be a headache.
Officials say the work is expected to take 3 weeks, depending on weather. Drivers are asked to utilize the interchange as a detour. And new at 4, the man accused of killing 3 people in a Gibson County shooting is now claiming he was the victim of fraud and elder abuse. 77-year-old Patrick Waite faces murder and attempted murder charges after allegedly shooting 4 people in his Hopstad home, including his wife, Alma Waite. Now, Waite has filed a lawsuit over the property at the center of this dispute. His attorney says in part, quote, Patrick was a victim of fraud and elder abuse. He was so afraid in his own home that he began sleeping with a gun under his pillow. Waite is scheduled to appear in court July 21st. An Evansville man has been arrested on a child sex crime charge. According to police, a victim reported to Holly's house that Michael Smith sexually abused her when she was just 4 to 5 years old. During this investigation, detectives also learned Smith was convicted for a similar crime back in 1994. He's being held in the Vanderburgh County Jail on no bond and is expected in court this afternoon. Also in court today, an Evansville man facing charges in connection to his son's death. Javante Carter was arrested over the weekend after his 3-year-old son got a hold of his gun and fatally shot himself. The gun was left in a cushion, and Carter later admitted it was in fact his. He was expected in court this morning, but court records show he refused to appear. Because of that, his hearing was pushed to Thursday, and his $100,000 cash bond was revoked. And an upcoming traffic alert now for Owensboro drivers. City officials say Griffith Avenue from Frederica Street to Robin Road will be closed for Owensboro's Porch Fest. Now, this will take effect Saturday, June 14th at noon. We are told the road will reopen on Sunday, June 15th around 6 in the morning. The event is expected to draw a large crowd to Griffith Avenue, so a reminder to be mindful of pedestrians. Well, coming up in Los Angeles, a new curfew is in place as protests against immigration raids continue. We'll have the latest on the unrest and what's next for LA. And here's a live look back here in the Tri-State out of our 44 Skycam network over downtown Madisonville. As you don't see a breeze going right there as the American flag is just chilling there in that heat, as it is a bit humid outside. But rain chances are on their way for the Tri-State, and they will linger a bit. You'll have a full check of that forecast from Jonathan down at the WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival coming up after the break. For a curfew has gone into effect in parts of downtown Los Angeles amid the protests against the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. The president has deployed hundreds of Marines and thousands of National Guard troops to the city to quell the unrest. California's governor is taking action to stop what he calls a, quote, brazen abuse of power. Danya Backus reports from L.A.
Authorities in Los Angeles are calling their new curfew a success following another night of protest against President Trump's immigration crackdown. The partial curfew, which took effect Tuesday night, impacts 1 square mile of a city that's over 500 square miles, where demonstrators are making their voices heard.
People are being picked up off the street. They're being snatched up out of Home Depots and Walmarts.
Over the past few days, the LAPD has carried out more than 300 arrests amid isolated instances of violence and looting.
If you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area.
This morning, Attorney General Pam Bondi revealed the Trump administration will seek to prosecute looters at the federal level.
If you loot a store, we are going to charge you with robbery under the Hobbs Act, and you're looking at maximum 20 years in prison.
The development comes just days after President Trump mobilized 4,000 National Guard troops to secure federal buildings in LA and 700 Marines, now stationed more than 20 miles away.
We don't need the National Guard, and they're not here to help us right now. They're here to facilitate what the federal agencies are doing on the immigration front.
California Governor Gavin Newsom shared those sentiments.
We do not want our streets militarized by our own armed forces.
A federal judge is set to hold a hearing Thursday over the governor's request to block the Trump administration from using troops in L.A. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And now, Storm Team 44, powered by Brackett Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
Hey, we're out here live at WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival in downtown Henderson. Great night. We're nice and dry, haziness, some clouds out here. With me, Rodney Thomas. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's a little warm compared to last year. At this
It's not too bad. No, this is perfect weather right here. If it just stay this way and keep the rain away, we'll be great.
So tell me what you're in charge of the beer stew, right?
I am in charge of the beer garden. Yep. So we have been doing this for 15 years maybe, and half of everything we make down here goes back to the Handy Fest.
Okay.
So we write them a big check every year. So, yeah.
So it's a big event here starting at 5 o'clock. Goes for a couple days, doesn't it?
Goes through Saturday. So 5 today and 5 tomorrow, and Friday and Saturday, 12 o'clock.
Oh, Friday.
About 11 o'clock. Yep.
Okay, so you start early on Fridays. To
leave both days, yes.
Right, yeah, get that weekend started early. So, yeah, so what are you guys serving up over there?
We got beer and seltzers. Yep. No liquor, just beer and seltzers. So
21 and over, so nice. It's
we got to stay inside the fenced-in area.
Okay.
Yep.
It's right next to the stage, so they have great viewing.
That's what they do. They come here and plant and just listen to music all night. Yep.
So do you know anything about the music or?
I know that everybody comes here just raves about these acts, and as they say, they go everywhere else they go. We have the best lineup around, and you'll see the same people year after year after year. They have vacations. This is their vacation every year, and they come here to have a good time, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think I remember interviewing somebody last year from South Carolina. Just came up for the weekend.
Every year the same people. Like in the beer garden, I see the same faces every year, and it's like, wow, okay. It's like they get it, yeah.
Yeah, this kind of kicks off the festival season in Henderson, doesn't it?
Well, we had Summerfest about 3 weeks ago that we do downtown, and this is the second one. Then we'll have Bluegrass later on, and then we'll have Songfest coming up. It's the end of July. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us this time and filling us in on what's going on. So we're down here live. We're doing weather. WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival standing right by the stage here. So it's going to kick off here at 5 o'clock. It's going to be Graham Duffy and then John Primer here at 7 o'clock. Just a little reminder, no pets, no coolers allowed. There's going to be a lot of food trucks up and down the street here. We're adjacent to the river. And then you have the bars that are around here that are open also. So the weather-wise, I tell you, a little humid out here in my opinion. Rodney didn't think it was too bad, so yeah, come on down. If you go closer to the railroad bridge and the water fountain down there, I can see the flags are flapping. There's a nice breeze happening right now. So temperatures in the 80s, expect them to be in the 80s through the evening hours. Now we're tracking a chance for showers, some thunderstorms. Futurecast will show you what's going on as we go throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. So we're dry this evening, dry tonight. Throughout the day tomorrow, we're dry. Temperatures climbing even warmer than what we're seeing right now, feeling more humid. We'll be in the upper 80s. And then we're looking at the increasing chances for showers, some thunderstorms starting really Friday afternoon. We're going to keep the afternoon and evening chances through Saturday and Sunday with those temperatures in the 80s. So again, coming on down, temperatures, have a drink, have a cold drink in your hand. We're going to enjoy some music. Got the sound stage warming up. Got people trickling in, setting up their seats here in downtown Henderson. This is for the W.C. Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival. So it's going to be a good time. Ben, the more I talk, the more the breeze picks up. So this is pretty good. So the sweat factor's starting to go down. I got my hat on, but we're standing in the shade. I brought Jonathan down, which is why we're kind of a little late. So sorry about that. But again, the beer stube, got the VIP seating, and then general seating. So we expect this lawn to fill up here within the hour starting at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, coming up, new research shows dementia affects more than just memory. It also impacts your senses and balance, what this means for care and early detection. Plus, kindergartners get a hands-on lesson in hospital care with a little help from their teddy bears. More on that is next. Turning now to today's top health headlines, sensory perception could be an equally important indicator, just as memory function is for people who develop dementia. According to a group of researchers, the approach to care and support for people with dementia should address both memory functions as well as taste, touch, balance, hearing, or vision, because the condition also impairs those factors. The researchers encourage healthcare providers to be aware when patients report changes and how they perceive their environment. And new research shows babies with serious health problems in the first weeks of life are at a higher risk of dying during childhood into adolescence. This is according to a study in JAMA Pediatrics, which looked at over 2 million children in Sweden. Children with neurological health problems had the highest risks of dying. Researchers say while risk of death is increased, the majority of newborns with serious health issues will survive into adulthood. Also for your health, it's an effort to make medicine in hospitals a lot less scary for kids. Stephanie Stahl has more on a special visit for some elementary school students.
It's a different kind of field trip for these kindergarten students, seeing inside an ambulance and then inside a hospital.
Is she here for a checkup? Yeah, all right.
It's Cooper Hospital's annual Teddy Bears to the Rescue event.
Arm's broken. Oh, no. All right, well, we're going to take very good care of your teddy bear. Okay.
Here, teddy bears become patients, and the medical staff guide the students through diagnosing and treating them using real medical tools and equipment, showing things like x-rays and heart imaging.
He's got a good, strong heartbeat. Oh, he sounds much better. All right, I think the treatment worked.
This helps to increase their familiarity, get comfortable with who they might be seeing in the event they ever have to come back. We help to ease their anxiety around coming to the hospital.
6-year-old Messiah named his teddy Blueberry.
He went outside without a coat, and then he got sick.
This group imagined all kinds of situations.
She was climbing on a palm tree and she fell off. She was riding her scooter without a helmet, and then she fell off, and then she broke her leg.
Good job. You want to wheel him around? Go ahead.
A physical therapist explained why wheelchairs and crutches are sometimes necessary.
The coolest part is just getting to work with the kids, getting them comfortable being here, getting to teach them, what we do every day.
If you don't know how to swim, that you're wearing a life jacket, right?
Along with some prevention lessons like swimming safety, these students also learned about staying healthy and away from the hospital. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Very cool.
Coming up on 44 News at 4, support local and stretch your SNAP dollars. As Evansville Market is feeding our community. Welcome back. The 2025 season of Market on Main launched last week at the Ford Center Plaza, and it continues to run every Wednesday through September 17th from 9 till 1. Visitors shopped at a wide variety of local farmers, food businesses, bakers, makers, food trucks, and artisan vendors, all gathering in one vibrant community marketplace.
Markets are super important to just like the local community and economy. It really brings a lot of small businesses together in a low barrier environment, really. I mean, they're interacting directly with customers and there's no middleman, you know, with the sales.
The market also supports SNAP recipients through the Healthy Communities Partnership and Urban Seeds, offering the Double Up Indiana program, which matches up to $20 on SNAP purchases each market day for fresh fruits and vegetables. Families are encouraged to bring their kids throughout the month of July for the Power of Produce program, where children can participate in fun fruit and vegetable-themed activities where they can earn $2 to spend on fresh snacks from those local farmers. Well, coming up in our next half hour, 2 Republican governors want to ban soda and candy from food stamps, but critics say it could do more harm than good. The controversy heating up over SNAP restrictions. Right now, 4:30, here's a look at some of the top stories that we're following. A big step towards better access to care. A new mobile health unit rolls out in Henderson. How Matthew 25 is expanding its mission and where it's headed. And a beloved volunteer's legacy lives on as the Vandenberg Humane Society honors Margie Cox by renaming its pet food assistance program after her. How this program is growing to help even more families and pets in need.
And we're around town live. We're in downtown Henderson. It is handy time. That's right. The Blues and Barbecue Festival. Temperature's not too bad. I'm Jonathan Weaver. All that Storm Team 44 forecast coming up.
Plus, an Evansville man accused of an unthinkable crime, what police say happened to a young child, and the suspect's disturbing criminal past.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 44 News at 4.
First at 4:30, as you take a look outside right now, plenty of sunshine for our Wednesday, but that humidity very apparent outside, and unfortunately that will continue, but don't let that keep you away from hearing some great blues music and enjoying some fantastic barbecue down near the Henderson Riverfront, because the W.C. Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival kicks off tonight, and that is where we will find our Storm Team 44 meteorologist, Jonathan Weaver, who's tracking your forecast live down there. Jonathan, how's it going out there?
It is going really good. Nice breeze picking up. The more we talk, the more that breeze picks up. We're in downtown Henderson. We have hazy sunshine, temperatures in the 80s. It's going to be dry. We got the stage behind us. We're just off the sound stage here. You should see all that equipment with Concept Sound and Light as they're getting set up. This begins at 5 o'clock, so the stage is set up with all the instruments there. Nice view of the river. The sun's going to be a nice sunset coming up here around 8 o'clock. So again, it begins at 5 o'clock. Temperatures are in the 80s right now. So as the crowd's starting to filter in, you can bring your chairs, and there's a lot of food booths. There's a beer stew, no coolers, no pets allowed. So come on down, but bring your chair, bring your loved one, or do whatever. Mingle with anybody that's down here. It's feeling pretty good. Maybe a little humid. Temperatures in the 80s, but we're going to be dry, like I said. But we do have a changing forecast coming up here over the next couple of days. We're going to introduce chances for some showers and thunderstorms. Not tomorrow. You know, this begins at 5 o'clock today. It begins at 5 o'clock tomorrow. The WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival, noon on Friday, but we're tracking some shower chances, and it begins noon on Saturday. We'll talk about all that. We're going to have a good interview coming up in full weather in a couple of minutes. Ben?
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, an Evansville man has been arrested on child sex crime charge. According to police, a victim reported to Holly's house that Michael Smith sexually abused her when she was just 4 to 5 years old. Now, during this investigation, detectives also learned that Smith was convicted for a similar crime back in 1994. He is being held in the Vanderbilt County Jail on no bond and is expected in court this afternoon. Also in court earlier today, an Evansville man facing charges in connection to his son's death. Javante Carter was arrested over the weekend after his 3-year-old son got a hold of his gun and fatally shot himself. The gun was left in a cushion, and Carter later admitted it was his. He was expected in court this morning, but court records show he refused to appear. Because of that, his hearing was pushed to Thursday. His $100,000 cash bond was revoked. Well, new at this hour, 2 Republican governors are leading a push to ban soft drinks and candy from the Federal Food Assistance Program, also known as SNAP. Arkansas and Indiana have asked the Biden administration, the Trump administration, for permission to restrict these items, aiming to improve the health of low-income residents who rely on the program.
Taxpayer dollars should not be funding these injuries to our children. And we pay for it twice. We pay for it through the SNAP program, and we pay for it later on with diabetes and obesity. And we pay for that at CMS, which is my agency, through Medicaid and Medicare.
The proposals come amid a broader effort by federal officials to focus SNAP benefits on nutrition rather than sugary snacks. But anti-hunger groups argue that these restrictions unfairly target vulnerable populations and may not improve health outcomes. The USDA says any changes to SNAP food eligibility would require congressional approval or special waivers, which have mostly been denied in the past due to implementation challenges. Well, the Vandenberg Humane Society has renamed its pet food assistance program to the Margie's Pet Food Pantry in honor of a longtime volunteer who passed away last year. Margie Cox devoted more than 2 decades to supporting the community through the Pet Food Bank and helping families care for their pets during tough times. Since her passing, the program has expanded, now providing food to families within 3 business days instead of just once a month, thanks to new leadership focused on increasing outreach and support. The rebranding pays tribute to Margie's lasting impact on the Humane Society and the many animals and people she helped over the years. Well, it's a major step forward in sexual health outreach. Matthew 25 AIDS Services is officially launching its new mobile health unit in Henderson, Kentucky. An official ribbon cutting was held earlier today at the organization's Henderson Clinic along Old Cordon Road. The event, hosted in partnership with the Henderson Chamber of Commerce, will give the public a chance to tour the mobile unit and learn about expanded services.
It's something that we've always wanted to do because the service area that we provide coverage to is so vast, and we lack reliable public transportation. So this kind of it removes that barrier so that we can reach people where they are.
The 2-room mobile clinic is funded by a $3 million 5-year grant from the CDC and is part of a broader effort to close gaps in HIV and STI care across 25 Kentucky counties. In just the first year, Matthew 25 has launched voucher programs for hepatitis C testing, expanded staffing, and laid the groundwork to increase access to PrEP and PEP medications. Well, new at 4, a big event with an even bigger mission is just around the corner. The 19th annual Colon Screening for Life 5K Run and Walk is happening this Saturday, June 14th in downtown Evansville. Doors open at 7 in the morning, and the 5K starts promptly at 8 in front of the Old National Bank. There will also be a 1-mile walk and a kids dash to follow it. The event raises awareness about the importance of early detection in the fight against colon cancer, a disease that impacts thousands of families every year. Organizers hope this run not only gets people moving, but sparks life-saving conversations about screening and prevention. Well, coming up, the heat, the sweat, and your skin. How to prevent 5 common summer skin problems before they ruin all your outdoor fun. And they're not even in preschool yet, but they already are building credit. Why one mom gave her toddlers credit cards and what experts say about it. New at 4, swipe or tap. More parents are getting a head start on establishing their children's credit ratings. National consumer correspondent Usher Qureshi is here with what parents need to know.
Are you done shopping?
I want more shopping.
You want more shopping?
Shannon Ho may be playing pretend with 2-year-old Aria and 1-year-old Gemma, but the lessons this mom is teaching are real.
She likes to buy Cheerios with her credit card. Cheerios and what else? Water bottles. Fiji water bottles. That's it.
Also real are the credit cards. As babies, Aria and Gemma have 2 cards each.
I figured, why not? My parents did it for me when I was a kid, so I did the same for my girls.
She and husband Jeremy added both daughters as authorized users on their existing card accounts.
My 1-year-old has no idea what's going on. My 2-year-old, however, I do take her to Target every week to buy her cheese crackers and her snacks, and she picks 2 items, any 2, and she gets to pay. She taps and pay, and we check out and leave.
Right. 5 shoes, 5 pairs for me? Okay, I'm ready.
With each tap, Aria is building a credit history, which will help determine her future credit score.
There's really no too early. The earlier, the better, right?
Financial advisor Winnie Sun says many banks, including Capital One, Bank of America, and Chase, allow kids to be authorized card users as long as they have a social security number.
Why is it so important to have a good credit score?
This is sort of your financial GPA. If you have a good one, that enables you better rates on your mortgage, better rates on your car loan. Maybe that apartment you're looking to rent is going to be advantageous to have something more attractive. And most importantly, a lot of employers are actually looking for a high credit score in order to give you that next job too.
What was their first word? Mama, dada, or credit card?
Mama.
Mama! Not credit card?
Not credit card.
Shannon says with every tap, the kids are securing their financial futures.
Can you tap? Oh, good job.
And learning the value of a dollar.
It's a habit we build from a young age to spend only what you are given or what you can afford and nothing more.
If you decide to get an early start, pay your bill in full on time every month to avoid passing down a negative credit score. And pay special attention to monitoring your bill to make sure there are no unauthorized purchases. Usher Qureshi, CBS News.
And now, Storm Team 44, powered by Brackett Heating, Air, and Plumbing.
And we're out here live at the 34th annual, right?
Yes, 34th year, yes. Hard to believe.
Annual WC Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival. Anita Watkins, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good seeing you again. I saw you last year.
I know, you did.
Like a reunion, so this is great to be out here again. We're talking about the weather, and it's a little more humid compared to last year.
It is a little humid. We just would like a little breeze off the water over there, but it's a beautiful night. We couldn't ask for a better night, I don't think, so.
Right, at least it's dry, and that's the main thing. So.
Absolutely, yes.
The musicians dry, the sound equipment dry, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You're in the marketing chair, so tell us what's going on the next couple of days.
Well, tonight our music starts in about 15 minutes at 5 o'clock. Our food booths open at 5 o'clock as well. Music at 5, 7, and 9 tonight. Tomorrow night is our Zydeco night, so that's kind of our party in the park. We'll have a booth, a tent with Cajun sausage and jambalaya and red beans and rice. And we'll have Zydeco music on the stage, and that I think starts at 5:30. And then Friday and Saturday, we start really early. 11 o'clock, the food booths open, and then 12 o'clock, the music starts, and we'll have our last band on stage at 9 o'clock at night. So literally all day, Friday.
So there's other things besides music. What else?
Absolutely. Well, there's food booths, which have all kinds of stuff. You have ice cream. So obviously have ice cream. There's barbecue. I don't even know what else. I haven't even been down over there to look at it. And then we've got merchandise. We've got a merchandise trailer over there with all kinds of T-shirts and hats and all kinds of good stuff. We've got a half pot going on. We've got our Java Shake and, all kinds of fun stuff to do.
I loved being down here last year. That's where I got my hat. So,
yeah.
I saw you in there. I guess we'll talk to Tom. They're smoking.
Smoking barbecue, yes. He'll do our stuff tomorrow. So
I gave Jonathan my credit card, debit card. He was nice enough getting me a melting ice cream. He disappeared for a half hour, but so it's cooling off a little bit. That was his goal.
Yeah,
some great music, and so you guys been doing this it's a free event, right?
It's absolutely free. It's so it's one of the largest free music festivals in the country. We'll keep providing the weather holds out. We'll hopefully have around 30,000 people that'll show up throughout the weekend in this park. It's not that big of a park, but it'll be full. And so it's a great time. People love we have great musicians. We have musicians that have played here that have gone on to win Grammys and
all kinds of great awards in the music industry. So we're really proud of the festival that we have here in Henderson. So.
And I saw, is that a children's tent down there?
Yeah, they have some kids' activities down there tonight is family night. So they have the library actually is putting all those on over there for the kids. So lots of things to do. Just bring your chair, find you a nice shady spot here in the park, and enjoy the music.
Okay, well, Nita, thanks for joining us. So, yeah, thanks for filling us in on what's going on. So, yeah, again, we're downtown Evansville. We're in Henderson. I am in Henderson. We are all in Henderson right here for the WC&D Blues and Barbecue Festival. Got the stage behind us, music beginning at 5 o'clock. I'm going to do some weather right now, so thank you so much for filling us in. Maybe we'll talk to you around 6 o'clock. All right. So, yeah, as we're talking about, last year it was like intense sunshine. I don't know if you remember, Ben. I had to buy this hat because that sunshine was beating down on my balding head. But it feels more humid this year. So we got the hazy sunshine, higher humidity, temperatures in the 80s right now. We'll be tracking some shower chances, not tonight, not tomorrow. I think Futurecast would be up, shows you really on Friday. So Friday afternoon into the evening hours. And then again, we're going to whip out some showers and thunderstorms scattered about here or there for Saturday afternoon, evening, Sunday afternoon and evening, with temperatures tomorrow really warm, really humid, 87 degrees, and 80s, 84 on Friday, I believe. You can see the numbers in front of you. We're in the 80s all through the weekend. So my son Jonathan over there got me this ice cream cone. It is melting like crazy, so make sure you have a cold drink in your hand. Yeah, I gave him my debit card a half hour ago. He was disappeared. How you doing?
Good.
Good. He's having fun with his ice cream and Mountain Dew right there. So yeah, come on down. We're in Audubon Mill Park, downtown Henderson. So we'll see you in next weather hit. Back to you, Ben.
Enjoy those ice creams. Thank you, Jonathan. Well, Beach Boys co-founder and musical visionary Brian Wilson has passed away at the age of 82. Wilson was known for shaping the band's signature harmonies and crafting the hits that we all know, like Good Vibrations and California Girls. His groundbreaking 1966 album, Pet Sounds, influenced generations of artists, including Paul McCartney, who once called God Only Knows one of the greatest songs ever written. Wilson had been under court conservatorship since 2024. His family announced his passing today. Well, coming up, President Trump defends sending troops to Los Angeles amid the protests over immigration, why the move is drawing praise from some and some sharp criticism from others. New at 4, President Donald Trump is defending his decision to send troops to Los Angeles in response to the protests over ICE raids and says other cities should take notice. The National Guard and Marines have been deployed to protect federal property and support the local law enforcement. The president insists their presence is calming, not confrontational.
That's what our senior officers are worried about and will continue to worry about as to how the president further intends to use the military against American citizens.
Critics argue the move risks politicizing the military. And while active duty troops can't be used for law enforcement without the Insurrection Act, the president has yet to invoke it. He's also restoring the names of 7 Army bases originally named after Confederate leaders, reversing changes made under President Biden. And the countdown is on to Saturday's military parade in Washington, D.C. President Trump has warned protesters to stay away from the parade that will be marking the Army's 250th birthday, noting protesters will be met with, quote, very heavy force. The parade, which will feature nearly 7,000 soldiers in uniform and a series of tanks and military planes, will be coinciding with the president's 79th birthday.
Grocery prices are up, but gas prices are down. I'm Kelly O'Grady at the New York Stock Exchange with the latest inflation report and what it tells us about the impact of tariffs.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm 44 News at 5. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check.
In consumer news this hour, the 2025 Shopper's Guide to Pesticides in Produce has been released. Now, the list, also known as the Dirty Dozen, is compiled from government testing data on non-organic produce by the Environmental Working Group, or EWG. It's meant to provide tools for decisions on whether to buy organic for fruits and vegetable families consuming the most. According to the list, more than 90% of samples of a dozen fruits and vegetables tested positive for potentially harmful pesticide residues. Spinach topped the list this year, with more pesticide residue by weight than any other produce tested. Now, some of the runner-ups were strawberries, kale, mustard, greens, and collards. Plus, the World Bank issued a new forecast saying it expects lower economic growth around the world this year. Without mentioning President Trump, the International Development Organization cited a, quote, substantial rise in trade barriers. The World Bank predicted that the U.S. economy would grow by 1.4% this year, half as fast as it did last year. And finally, the latest snapshot on inflation shows prices edging higher, but not as much as expected. The government's report signals that so far, tariffs are not having a broad impact on consumers. Kelly O'Grady has the story from the New York Stock Exchange.
Prices at the grocery store ticked higher as inflation picked up slightly last month. The Consumer Price Index rose 2.4% in May compared to a year ago. That's up from a 2.3% yearly increase in April. But while groceries edged higher overall, egg prices dropped, as did gasoline, and increases in rent slowed down.
Those prices were increasing month after month since the pandemic reopening. We are starting to see that the rate of increase of shelter prices is decelerating. And that's really good news because you spend so much of your monthly budget on your house, on your apartment.
The inflation report signals that President Trump's tariffs have not had a broad impact on consumer goods, but some sectors are feeling the pain. Detroit Axle says tariffs on auto parts might force the store out of business.
They've been around a long time, and there's a lot of people who come here and depend upon them to get their parts for their vehicles.
President Trump said the inflation report showed great numbers and called on the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates by a full point.
The Federal Reserve will meet next week, and despite the urging by the president to lower interest rates, it is highly unlikely that the Fed will do anything when it comes to interest rates next week.
Overall,